Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Entertainment News. It is mid-October. We're getting into that spooky season, and there's a lot of spooky content coming out in the world of entertainment and education. And apparently there is a documentary on the life of Edgar Allan Poe coming out soon. I had no idea that it was coming. We're going to tell you how to see it and when and what it's all about in just a moment when we get to today's news. Before we get there, just a quick reminder to be kind. If you choose to join us in the comment section, be kind, keep watching. We don't have to get along, or we have to get along, we don't have to agree. So if you can manage that, that would be much appreciated. I love having conversations with you folks when you do show up, but not if you're being mean. There's enough of that in the world. Let's all behave. All right then, Edgar Allan Poe. I whipped out my complete poems and fiction of not H.P. Lovecraft, rather, Edgar Allan Poe this morning in anticipation of this video. This is something that everyone should have in their collections, I think. He's an essential author, to be sure. So here we go. This comes from Bloody Disgusting, where much of my news comes from in the horror realms. Many people associate Edgar Allan Poe's tales of the macabre with Halloween, but how well do they know the man behind the stories? Just in time for the holiday, In Search of Edgar Allan Poe will begin airing on PBS stations and streaming on the PBS app on October 25th. Now, just let me step slightly off topic here. I think that it's a travesty what the current administration has attempted to do to PBS by taking away government funding. Granted, the government funding side of things was always a small part of the equation. Most of their money comes from viewers and other sources, but to claim that this is some sort of propaganda source is just utterly ridiculous. It's PBS, for God's sakes. And it's just, I think PBS is, for the most part, going to survive. Some of the local channels are going to be in trouble, perhaps, being able to fulfill that budget shortfall. But it would be a horrible, horrible mistake if they were have to turn to corporate entities to get funding and then become beholden to those entities, and it's just ridiculous. But enough of that. Totaling 3 hours, the two-part film promises to be the most in-depth documentary ever made on one of America's most enigmatic literary figures, delving into his mysterious life and the enduring legacy. I know Poe is about as good as anybody else does, I guess, or the typical person does, rather. I remember pretty early, like 4th, 5th grade, you're reading The Raven, The Pit and the Pendulum, The Telltale Heart, Murders in the Rue Morgue, things like that. And in my adult life, I've mainly known him as an inspiration to my more favored author, H.P. Lovecraft. Poe is hands down the better artist, much better command of the language, whereas Lovecraft, what made him interesting was his ideas, less than his craft, but I digress. Directed by Andrew D. Kaplan, the award-winning film recounts how Poe invented the detective genre, pioneered science fiction, and shaped the modern short story, yet was plagued by alcohol, lost loves, and a penchant for self-destructive. He was an author, that's basically what you just did. You defined an author. We immersed the viewer in Poe's life and works using 40 evocative pieces of music, interviewing 5 leading scholars, and shooting the film at 12 Poe-related locations, said Kaplan. Our documentary gives voice to those so central to Poe during his lifetime, such as his beloved wife Virginia, Aunt Marie Clem, and older brother Henry, who inspired him to become an author, yet have largely gone unmentioned in other documentaries. The documentary also sheds new light on Poe's mystifying death in Baltimore and why he was found wearing someone else's clothes at a local tavern on Election Day. We hope to dispel persistent myths about Poe's life and death and reveal his remarkable influence on later writers, artists, and scientists. Kaplan added, few people realize his enduring impact. We do not feel his story has been so revealingly told until now. And there are 2 movie trailers available on YouTube. I will drop a link in the description so you can find those for yourself. But yeah, I had no idea this was coming, but I'm pretty interested. This is coming from PBS, a very trusted source. There's also a new Ken Burns documentary about the Revolutionary War, which I think is very timely. I know he's been working on it for like a decade, but it's great to have it now, considering what's going on in our world. I think it's a very important, and this time of year especially, as we approach Halloween and then Thanksgiving, to have those stories be told and put back in the public eye and sort of go beyond just the tropes. But yeah, that's the Revolution. This is Edgar Allan Poe, who we're talking about. Undoubtedly, one of the formative authors of horror, which we talk a lot about here on Let's Talk Entertainment. You may know or may not know that in years past, I endeavored to locate, read, and review each of the, what was it? Is it close to 200? I can't remember. However many short stories that Lovecraft wrote, and then also ones that he sort of revised, added input to, edited, things like that. So basically every piece of short fiction that ever had Lovecraft's touch on it, I took time to read and to create videos and discuss those videos here. And it was sort of a very enjoyable, though sort of strung out adventure to do all of that, and to now be able to say that I've done that for all of his fiction. But he's my main touchstone for Poe, is sort of seeing how what Poe did inspired him, as well as other authors who have come since. Poe remains just so influential, and it's cool to have this story being told again. The director says they think they're doing something new. We shall see. We'll have to watch it to find out, but you can find it on PBS very, very soon. So thank you for watching. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Until next time, keep it creepy.